Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ben here. I'm back again today with another video. The topic of today's video is going to be discussing something that's somewhat unfortunate. It is unfortunate regardless of how you feel. It's that Victor Oladipo got a really bad injury last night. He is going to be out for the season. If you didn't know this, yes, it happened in the game against the Toronto Raptors last night. He was trying to play defense in transition, and basically like Pascal Siakam went up to grab a pass and he came down and sort of landed awkwardly in conjunction with Victor Oladipo. And Victor Oladipo went down with a knee problem and he is going to require surgery. And as of today, the Pacers announced that he will be out for the remainder of the season. That being said, we're left with sort of like a question of what do the Pacers do now? They're currently the 3 seed in the East. They're pretty securely in that spot, or they were before this. But now you're sort of left wondering, what are they going to do? Are they going to trade to maintain the level of play that they were at, or are they just going to keep the team intact as is and see what happens? And so today I'm going to be discussing basically some of the repercussions of this injury and what I think the Pacers should do moving forward for the remainder of the season. So first things first, I'm going to go over some of the statistics of the other players on the team and Oladipo too. So this year, Oladipo was leading the team in shots taken per game at 16. He was shooting 42% from the field, 34% from three. He was grabbing 6 rebounds a game, 5 assists a game, about 2 steals a game, and then he was scoring 19 points a night. The second leading scorer on the team is Bojan Bogdanovic at 16 points per game. He's shooting 44% from three, 49% from the field. He's grabbing 4 rebounds a night, 2 assists, so pretty good numbers for him. It's actually his best season so far. Miles Turner and Thad Young are both averaging 13 points a night. Miles Turner is getting 7 rebounds a night. Thad Young is getting 6, both getting around 2 assists a game. Let's see here. Miles Turner is shooting 50% from the field. Thaddeus Young is shooting 54%, so both decent there. You got Darren Collison contributing 10 points tonight and 6 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field and 39% from three, which is pretty good. And then your other 2 main guys on this team are Sabonis, who's averaging 15 points a night and about 10 rebounds, shooting 62% from the field. And then Tyreke Evans, who's giving you 11 points a night, 2 assists a game, 3 rebounds a game, and he's shooting 39% from the field. So if you take Oladipo out of the equation, you're probably looking at Sabonis as like your main option, your main guy on the team. The starting lineup after this injury looks probably like Collison at the 1, and then you still got Evans at the Evans is going to be the one subbed in for Oladipo at the 2, Bogdanovic at the 3, Thad Young at the 4, Miles Turner at the 5, with still like Sabonis as their 6th man, and then Corey Joseph and Doug McDermott probably as the other 2 main guys off the bench. So the main thing I see changing from this trade, the guys who I think will be impacted the most on the Pacers are probably primarily one, Tyreke Evans. I think he'll be getting a lot more shots per game just because he's a guy that can create his own offense and create his own shot. So I see him getting more opportunities to shoot. He's been bad from the field. He's shooting, as I said, 39% from the field. But he's shooting actually pretty good from three, about 36%, which is pretty good for him. So maybe we'll see him take more 3-pointers after this. Sabonis, I think we could see get a lot more touches on offense to kind of make up for Oladipo not getting those 16 shots every night. But honestly, I see this kind of working out that the shots that Oladipo is taking will probably be pretty spread out throughout the team. Or maybe this is the time that Miles Turner kind of establishes himself as the number 2 guy on this team. It's hard to tell because you got a lot of guys who are pretty similar in like the production they're giving you. Like as I said real quickly, just to go through, Bogdanovic 16 points a night, Thad Young and Miles Turner each 13, Darren Collison 10, Tyreke Evans 11, and then Sabonis 15. So I feel like it's not like, oh, Bogdanovic is going to now score 20 a night because Oladipo's gone because he was the next highest scorer behind him. Not really, because I feel like Bogdanovic is really just a spot-up shooter. So I feel like you're gonna have to see a guy who can create for himself, take more shots, which would be basically Darren Collison, but more primarily Tyreke Evans. So I could see Tyreek's scoring average go up from like what it is 11 now to maybe by the end of the season be more like 15. Again, he'll probably shoot around 40% from the field, or if not a little bit higher, because I think if they're running things more through him, he will play a little bit better with the ball in his hands more often and stuff like that. Uh, that being said, should they trade to improve the team and kind of keep up their pace as the 3 seed? I would say no. I feel like if Oladipo comes back after this injury next year sometime and he is what he was before the injury, then just keep everything the way it is, because this team is sort of built. Uh, I don't want to say built around Victor Oladipo, but it just perfectly works with him plugged in as the best player. Like I heard somebody on ESPN say like they should maybe consider trading for Mike Conley now, but that doesn't really work because you already have Darren Collison as like your starting point guard, and if you trade for Conley, I mean, what are you gonna trade for him really? Like Oladipo? No. You could try and do something like Collison and Tyreke Evans, but I don't really think the Grizzlies would want that. Maybe they would if they got desperate enough, but I feel like this team is just so perfect to work around Victor Oladipo. You might as well just keep it intact, ride it out this season, see how everything goes. Then next year you come back and compete again. So where do I see them finishing ultimately in the standings? I would predict probably somewhere around 5 or 6. I really don't see a team like I don't know if the Nets could overtake them. Maybe I don't. The Pacers have done okay without Oladipo in the lineup. I'm pretty sure that they actually have an above 500 record without Oladipo in the lineup. So, but that's obviously a pretty small sample size this year because he missed like 10 games earlier, but that was it. But still, I don't know. I just don't see a trade that they can make that keeps their core intact while also like adding a really good player and having them. They kind of like if they trade, it's sort of signifying like, well, we want to contend this year, but do you really want to contend this year if you don't have Oladipo? Not that they should tank or anything. They should still try and make it to the playoffs, but they should just have realistic expectations that they probably won't get past even like the first round now. So ultimately, what do I think? I think that the final shakeup could be like the Pacers at the 5, and then they lose in the first round to like the Celtics or the 76ers or whoever ends up as the 4 seed. I think that's a pretty realistic expectation. Again, it's very unfortunate that Oladipo got injured. He was having a pretty good year. He was going to be an all-star, and the Pacers were on pace to be the 3 seed in the East and to do well and possibly, get to the second round or even the conference finals if you really had a lot of faith in them. Either way, I think we can all agree that this is a pretty devastating injury, and it's really unfortunate to see a player in the prime of his career go down and have such a bad injury, which from what I've heard, just from hearing people talk about it, it could be pretty serious. Like he could miss a full year's worth of time, if not more, actually. I hope that it just takes like 9 months maybe, and he can make it back for basically the start of next season. That'd be great. But again, we'll have to wait and see for more information to come out from Indiana. But just in conclusion, if you didn't hear, Victor Oladipo's out for the rest of the season, and the Pacers, in my opinion, should not make a major trade. They should just ride things out the way they are and hope that they can still make the playoffs and basically just look forward to next year. Honestly, it sounds maybe a little defeated, but that's not. I just think it's being realistic. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.